The air in the lawyer's office hung heavy, thick with the scent of old paper and unspoken anxieties. My sister Clara sat across from me, her knuckles white as she gripped the armrest of her chair. Her eyes, usually so vibrant, were now shadowed pools mirroring my own apprehension. We were there for the reading of our father, Arthur Sterling's will. Arthur, a man of formidable presence and even more formidable secrets, had passed 2 weeks prior, leaving behind not just a substantial estate, but a legacy of unanswered questions that had haunted our family for decades. Did you ever feel the weight of a past you weren't fully privy to, pressing down on your present? That's how it felt every single day since his passing. Before we delve into the unraveling, pause for a moment. If stories of family secrets and shocking revelations resonate with you, hit that like button and subscribe. You won't want to miss what unfolds next. The lawyer, Mr. Harrison, a man whose demeanor was as crisp as his starched collar, cleared his throat, adjusting his spectacles. "Good morning, Clara Maria. Thank you for coming." His voice was a low rumble, devoid of any discernible emotion. He picked up a thick cream-colored envelope, its seal still unbroken, a silent testament to the finality it contained. My heart hammered against my ribs. I glanced at Clara, whose gaze was fixed on the envelope as if it held a venomous serpent. We had always been close, Clara and I, bound by a shared childhood marked by our father's enigmatic distance and our mother, Eleanor's, quiet suffering. Our mother had passed years ago, leaving us with an even deeper sense of isolation when it came to understanding Arthur. Mr. Harrison broke the silence. "As per your father, Arthur Sterling's instructions, I will now read his last will and testament." He tore open the envelope with a deliberate, almost theatrical slowness. The rustle of paper was the only sound in the room, amplifying the tension to an almost unbearable degree. He began to read, his voice a monotonous drone, detailing various bequests to charities, distant relatives, and employees. Clara and I exchanged glances, a silent agreement that this was the preamble. The expected formalities before the true revelations. Our father was a man of immense wealth, accumulated through shrewd investments and a relentless work ethic. The Sterling Corporation, his brainchild, was a titan in the tech industry, a testament to his ambition. We knew there would be significant assets to divide. Then, Mr. Harrison paused, a slight shift in his posture, a barely perceptible tightening around his lips. He looked directly at me. "To my daughter, Maria Sterling, I bequeath the sum of $1. The words hung in the air, cold and sharp like shards of ice. My breath hitched. $1? It was a cruel public slap in the face, a deliberate act of disinheritance that screamed contempt. My mind reeled. What could this mean? What had I done? I looked at Clara, my eyes pleading for an explanation, but her face was a mask of shock, her jaw slack. She looked as bewildered, as hurt as I felt. Mr. Harrison continued, his voice now carrying a faint, almost imperceptible tremor, as if even he was affected by the stark injustice of the statement. "And to my daughter, Clara Sterling, I bequeath the entirety of my remaining estate, including all properties, financial assets, and the controlling interest in Sterling Corporation." A collective gasp escaped Clara's lips. She looked at me, her eyes wide with a mixture of disbelief and profound sadness. The room spun. The weight of Arthur's decision, so public, so definitive, crushed me. Disinherited. $1. It was more than a financial blow. It was a complete erasure. A declaration that I was not worthy, not his daughter in any meaningful sense. This can't be right," I stammered, my voice a thin whisper. "There must be a mistake." Mr. Harrison removed his spectacles, rubbing the bridge of his nose. "I assure you, Maria, there is no mistake. The will is meticulously drafted and legally binding. Your father's instructions were very clear." He then gestured towards a sealed envelope on his desk. He also left a letter, addressed to both of you, to be read after the will. The letter. A new wave of dread washed over me. What dark secret, what hidden accusation would it contain? Clara, still reeling from the shock, reached for my hand, her grip surprisingly strong. "Maria, I don't understand any of this." Her voice was thick with emotion. We had always been partners in navigating our father's complex world. This sudden, inexplicable divide felt like a betrayal not just from him, but from the very fabric of our shared history. Mr. Harrison carefully opened the second envelope. The paper inside was thick, cream-colored, just like the will itself. He unfolded it, and the familiar, precise handwriting of our father filled the page. My dearest daughters, Clara and Maria, Mr. Harrison began to read, his voice regaining its professional composure, though a hint of unease still lingered beneath the surface. If you are reading this, it means I am no longer with you. I have lived a life of purpose, of ambition, and of choices. Some of those choices were made with a heavy heart, others with the firm conviction that they were necessary. The terms of my will may come as a shock, particularly to you, Maria. My breath caught in my throat. This was it. The explanation. The justification for my public shaming. The letter continued, each word a hammer blow to my already fragile composure. Maria, your disinheritance is not a reflection of a lack of love, but a consequence of a truth that has shattered our family for too long. A truth that I, in my pride and my cowardice, allowed to fester. You are not my biological daughter. The world tilted on its axis. The words echoed in the silence of the room, reverberating in my ears, drowning out everything else. Not my biological daughter. It was a revelation so profound, so utterly devastating, that it stripped away every foundational belief I had about myself, about my family, about my entire life. Clara gasped, a choked sound of disbelief. Her hand flew to her mouth, her eyes wide with a mixture of horror and pity. I felt a cold numbness spread through me, a chilling emptiness where my identity once resided. My father, Arthur Sterling, the man who had raised me, provided for me, subtly controlled every aspect of my life, was not my father. All those years, all those interactions, all those moments, were they all built on a lie? The question burned, a searing inferno in my mind. Mr. Harrison paused, allowing the weight of the revelation to settle. The air was thick with unspoken grief and bewildering confusion. He then continued to read, his voice now softer, more empathetic. Your true father was a man named David Thorne. He was an artist, a free spirit, a man who crossed paths with your mother, Eleanor, long before she met me. Their connection was brief, passionate, and ultimately tragic. When Eleanor discovered she was pregnant with you, David had already left, pursuing his artistic dreams abroad. She was alone, vulnerable, and heartbroken. A new wave of emotions crashed over me. Anger, sorrow, a profound sense of betrayal by both my parents. My mother, Eleanor, a woman I had always remembered as gentle and demure, had carried such a monumental secret. Why? Why the elaborate deception? Why the years of silence? The questions piled up, forming an impenetrable wall of confusion. The letter went on to explain Arthur's role. Eleanor came to me, desperate. We had a history, a friendship, and I had always harbored feelings for her. I saw an opportunity to be the man she needed, to provide a stable home for her and the child she carried. I offered to marry her, to claim you as my own, to give you my name and my protection. It was a decision driven by love, yes, but also by a deep-seated pride. I could not bear the thought of Eleanor and her child facing the world alone, especially a child not of my blood, a child who would carry the stigma of illegitimacy in our conservative circle. Arthur's words painted a picture of a man driven by a complex mix of altruism and ego. He had rescued my mother, yes, but he had also orchestrated a lie that had shaped my entire existence. He had played the benevolent patriarch, while deep down, he harbored the truth that I was not truly his. The disinheritance was not just about money. It was about his final, brutal act of truth-telling. A way to cleanse his conscience and, perhaps, to punish me for a sin that was not my own. I confess, the secret was a heavy burden, the letter continued. I loved you, Maria, in my own way. I provided for you, educated you, guided you. But the truth always lingered, a shadow between us. I couldn't bring myself to fully embrace you as my own, knowing you carried the blood of another man. My pride, my fear of judgment, kept me silent. I kept the secret from you, from Clara, from everyone. Eleanor agreed to this pact, believing it was for the best, for your protection and for the sake of our family's reputation. So, my mother was complicit. The quiet, gentle woman I remembered was also a keeper of profound secrets. Her suffering, which I had always attributed to Arthur's distant nature, now took on a new, more complex meaning. She had carried the burden of her past, the weight of her love for David Thorne, and the guilt of her deception, all while raising me under a false pretense. The letter concluded with a final, chilling sentence. I leave Clara everything, not out of favoritism, but because she is my true heir, the bearer of the sterling name and legacy. Maria, I hope you find the strength to forgive me, and to seek out your true heritage. The details of David Thorne's last known whereabouts are enclosed with this letter. Mr. Harrison folded the letter, placing it back into the envelope along with a smaller, sealed one. He pushed them across the table towards me. These are for you, Maria. My hands trembled as I reached for them. The smaller envelope, I presumed, contained the information about David Thorne, my true father. A ghost, a name I had never heard before, now suddenly the key to my past. Clara, tears streaming down her face, pulled me into a tight embrace. Maria, I am so sorry. I can't believe this. Our entire lives. A lie. Her voice was raw with emotion. Her shock mirrored mine, but hers was tinged with a different kind of grief. The loss of a shared history. The discovery that her own father had been capable of such a monumental deception. I felt numb. The ground beneath me had vanished. My identity, my sense of belonging. Everything I thought I knew about my family had been shattered into a million pieces. The $1, the public disinheritance, the cruel revelation, it was all part of Arthur's final calculated act. He had stripped me bare, leaving me with nothing but a name, a broken past, and a cryptic clue to a man I had never known. Leaving Mr. Harrison's office, the bustling city outside felt alien, detached from the seismic shift that had just occurred within me. Clara walked beside me, her arm linked through mine, a silent anchor in the storm. We didn't speak, the weight of the revelations too heavy for words. We drove to a quiet park, a place we used to visit with our mother, and sat on a bench beneath a sprawling oak tree. The afternoon sun cast long shadows, mirroring the darkness that had descended upon my world. What are you going to do? Clara finally asked, her voice soft, tentative. I looked at the small envelope in my hand. Inside, I knew, lay the first thread of my true lineage. I have to find him, Clara. David Thorne. I have to know. I have to understand why. The need to uncover the truth was a burning urgency, a primal instinct to reclaim a part of myself that had been stolen. Clara squeezed my hand. I'll help you. We'll figure this out together. Her unwavering support was a lifeline, a flickering beacon in the overwhelming darkness. Despite the shock, despite the inheritance that now separated us financially, our bond remained unbroken, perhaps even strengthened by the shared trauma. The next few weeks were a blur of research, phone calls, and dead ends. The information Arthur had left was sparse. A name, a last known address in a small coastal town in Italy, and a vague mention of his artistic pursuits. David Thorne, the artist. It conjured images of a bohemian life, a stark contrast to the rigid, structured world of Arthur Sterling. I booked a flight to Italy, a journey into the unknown, a pilgrimage to find a ghost. Clara, despite her new responsibilities with Sterling Corporation, insisted on coming with me for the first few days. Her presence was a comfort, a familiar face in an unfamiliar land. The quaint Italian town, with its sun-drenched piazzas and winding cobblestone streets, felt a world away from the sterile boardrooms of New York. The address Arthur had provided led us to a small, charming art gallery, nestled between a bakery and a flower shop. My heart pounded as I pushed open the wooden door, a tiny bell tinkling above my head. The interior was filled with vibrant paintings, sculptures, and the intoxicating scent of oil paints. A woman with kind eyes and a warm smile emerged from the back. "Can I help you?" she asked, her English accented but clear. "Yes," I said, my voice barely a whisper. "I'm looking for David Thorne." Her smile faltered slightly. "David? He passed away many years ago, I'm afraid. He was a wonderful artist, a dear friend." My knees buckled. Another ghost. Another loss. The hope that had propelled me across an ocean evaporated in an instant. Clara put an arm around me, steadying me. "He had a daughter," I managed to say, the words catching in my throat. "Me." The woman's eyes widened. "Maria?" "Oh, my dear, David spoke of you sometimes. He always regretted—" "Well, he regretted many things." She led us to a small, cluttered office in the back, offering us espresso. "My name is Isabella." I was David's apprentice, then his partner. We ran this gallery together. Isabella recounted David's story. A tale of a passionate, restless artist who had loved deeply and lived fiercely. He had loved my mother Eleanor with an intensity that had left a lasting mark on him. He had returned to Italy, heartbroken, never knowing about my existence. He had dedicated his life to his art, pouring his emotions onto canvas, often painting melancholic portraits of a woman with sad, distant eyes that I now recognized as my mother's. He always kept this, Isabella said, pulling a small leather-bound journal from a dusty bookshelf. He wrote in it every day. He wanted to leave it to you, if you ever found your way here. She handed me the journal. Its worn cover felt soft against my fingertips. This was it. My true father's voice, his thoughts, his untold story. I spent the next few days in Italy, devouring David's journal. His words painted a vivid picture of a man consumed by art, by love, and by regret. He wrote of Eleanor, their brief, intense romance, and the pain of their separation. He wrote of his longing for a family, a child, a life he had walked away from in his youthful pursuit of artistic freedom. He never knew I existed, but his entries were filled with a melancholic yearning for a child he imagined, a child he would teach to paint, to see the world through an artist's eyes. He had even given this imagined child a name, Maria. He had felt a connection, a profound intuition, that he had left something precious behind. Reading his words, a strange sense of peace settled over me. Arthur's disinheritance, his cruel revelation, had been a wound, but it had also been a catalyst. It had led me to David, to this hidden truth, to a connection I never knew I craved. David Thorne was not the powerful, controlling figure Arthur was. He was an artist, flawed and passionate, who had loved my mother and had unknowingly yearned for me. Clara eventually returned to New York, leaving me in Italy to sift through my new reality. I stayed for another month, exploring the town, visiting the places David had painted, immersing myself in the world he had inhabited. I felt a connection to him in the vibrant colors of his canvases, in the quiet beauty of the Italian countryside. I even took a few painting classes at Isabella's gallery, finding a surprising solace in the feel of a brush in my hand, the creation of something new and beautiful. When I finally returned to New York, it was with a sense of quiet resolve. My identity was no longer defined by the sterling name or Arthur's disdain. It was rooted in a complex tapestry of relationships, of love and loss, of secrets and revelations. Clara met me at the airport, her embrace warm and genuine. She had been busy with the Sterling Corporation, navigating the complexities of her new role, but her commitment to me remained steadfast. "How are you?" she asked, her eyes searching mine. "I'm different," I admitted. "I found him, Clara. Not in the way I expected, but I found him." I told her about Isabella, about the journal, about David's artistic spirit and his unspoken love. Clara listened intently, a thoughtful expression on her face. "Arthur, he was a complicated man," she said, after a long silence. "He loved you, Maria, in his own flawed, twisted way. He just couldn't reconcile his pride with the truth." I nodded. I was beginning to understand that. Arthur's final act had been an act of truth, however brutal. It had freed me from a lie, even if it had come at a great personal cost. The disinheritance still stung, but it no longer defined me. The $1, a symbol of rejection, now felt like a liberation, a severance from a past that wasn't truly mine. Clara then revealed her own decision. "I've been thinking a lot about the inheritance. It's not right, Maria. It's not fair. We're sisters and a will shouldn't tear us apart. I'm going to split the inheritance with you. 50-50. My eyes welled up with tears. "Clara, you don't have to do that." "Yes, I do," she insisted, her voice firm. "We're family, and family means more than money, more than names, more than old secrets. Arthur may have tried to divide us, but he failed." Her words were a balm to my wounded soul, a testament to the enduring power of sisterhood. The Sterling Corporation, once a symbol of Arthur's dominance, now became a symbol of our unity. Clara, with her sharp business acumen, took the reins, steering the company into new, ethical directions. I, with my newfound understanding of my artistic heritage, decided to pursue my own path. I used a portion of the inheritance to open a small art studio, a place where I could explore my creativity, a legacy I now understood I carried from David Thorne. I even started painting, finding a surprising talent for abstract landscapes, a fusion of my two worlds. Life, it turned out, was not about the names we were given, or the wealth we inherited, but about the truths we uncovered and the connections we forged. Arthur Sterling's will had been a cruel act of disinheritance, a final public airing of a decades-old secret. But it had also been a brutal awakening, a forcing of the truth that ultimately led me to myself. It led me to David, to my mother's hidden story, and most importantly, it reaffirmed the unbreakable bond with my sister Clara. We were a family, not by blood alone, but by choice, by love, and by the shared journey of unraveling a past that had almost torn us apart. The will, meant to divide, had ultimately brought us closer, forcing us to confront the uncomfortable truths and to build a new foundation based on honesty and unwavering love. It was a testament not to a father's pride, but to the resilience of two sisters who refused to be defined by a secret that was not their own. And as for the $1, I framed it. It hangs in my studio, a constant reminder that sometimes the greatest treasures are found not in what is given, but in what is taken away, forcing you to seek your own truth. This story, in its raw honesty, invites us to reflect. What secrets might be shaping your own reality? What truths, if uncovered, could change everything? If this narrative resonated with you, if it sparked a flicker of recognition or a wave of emotion, please share your thoughts in the comments below. Your stories, your insights, fuel this community. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Unspoken Stories for more tales that delve into the depths of human experience. Your engagement helps us bring these powerful narratives to life.